children live with criticism, they have to condemn, they have to learn to condemn. If children live with hostility, they learn to fight. If children live with ridicule, they learn to be shy. If children live with shame, they learn to feel guilty. If children live with encouragement, they learn confidence. If children live with tolerance, they learn to be patient. If children live with pride, they learn to appreciate. If children live with acceptance, they learn to love. If children live with approval, they learn to like themselves. If children live with honesty, they learn truthfulness. If children live with security, they learn to have faith in themselves and others. If children live with friendliness, they learn the world is a nice place in which to live. So this is such a wonderful word. With this word, I am going through the session because everyone should analyze both the environment we provide the children, then only it makes their life very best or worst. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Very much. Please continue.
Okay. Today's theme, that is Universal Children's Day 2022 theme is that inclusion for every child. This is for what means inclusion. No children should not get any deprivation. That is the theme. Even gender, even religion, caste, tribal, war, or any kind of natural calamities, they should not omit. The children should be protected at any cost. We should not give any damage to the uh, future citizens because the country development and the global development entirely depends upon the children, national development. So this is the important inclusion for every child. So under this, they have give some important objectives. One is making a peaceful world. We have to think we are creating a peaceful world to them. So this is very big questions nowadays because what environment we provide to the children. Even in inborn baby also we are providing mobile. So this is the biggest killer to them. So we damage their life, entire things, the entire rights of them we damage. Their physical health, their mental health, their social, spiritual, everything. So making a peaceful world. The next thing is remove disparity, bringing harmony to the society. In any kind of disparity, they don't say that this and that. They talk about all kinds of disparity, even gender, religious, caste, means race, tribal, any community they talking about, poor, rich, even basis of caste system, class system, all social stratification should be removed in case of children. That is the main thing. The next thing is rebel prejudices. All kinds of against the prejudices we have to try to uh, come out of this. Prejudices should be abolished in case of children. The next thing is rescue and support during social distraction. In the case of pandemic, natural calamities, wars, terrorism, this kind of events also we have to secure the children. They should not damage at any cost. So these are the major points portrayed this theme of Universal Children's Day today. That's today. So with us, we are going to move. What is our country child rights? What are the things we have do? The first thing is right to survival. Uh, Survival is one of the biggest question nowadays for the children. Even before going to home, also we try to do female infanticide. In some of the cultures, they are doing that. In some of the part of the countries, they are practicing such a kind of thing. Even whom also, when we are finding that there is a female, immediately they are going for infanticide. So right to be born. Nowadays we have lot of social measures are there, legal measures are there, but in practical, in ground realities, that is different. So for that purpose, everyone should be fight for that. Everyone should be take responsibility for that. So right to be born. That is the first right to the children. We have to understand. They have that right. The next thing is right to minimum standard of food, shelter, and clothing. So how much it is achieved? This is very big question mark because standard of food, shelter, because um, uh, um, under 5 years of children going to die every year. This is a major cause due to malnutrition. That is one of the factors. So, right to minimum standard of food. What is the basic communities we have to provide? Everyone should provide right to live with dignity. We treated the children certainly, but we give respect to them. We have to listen to them, or we listen to them as a question mark because we are imposing everything on the children nowadays. You have to study this, you have to do this, you have to everything we have to decide. We should not give any emotional balance. We should not understand their emotional space. We should not give the space to them. That's a very big thing. Next thing is right to healthcare, to safe drinking water, nutrition, food, a clean and safe environment, and information to help them stay healthy. So these are the various kinds of issue to grow well to the children. That is the basic rights to the right to survival. That is the first rights. In the next, we are going to see that right to protection, right to be protected from all sorts of violence. It's true. How much? How far? How long? Each and every corner, every 16 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 3 minutes, one adolescent girl is being violated. This is statistic source. So they have the right, such a kind of right. Violence, how it can be eradicated, we will see the later part. What is our role? During that part, we will discuss about how we can come out of this um, issues and promote their rights. Okay, all sorts of violence, right to be protected from neglect. Children easily neglected. So because they are very, very vulnerable. So right to be protected from physical and sexual abuse, right to be protected from dangerous drugs. How we can do that, we will see in later part. Right to participation, right to freedom of opinion, right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association, right to information, right to participate in any decision making that involves her, him, her directly or indirectly. Even their marriage also we should not consider. Some of the families or some of the cultural background, they should not decide. They don't have the rights. They don't decide their education also. How many of you frankly say because that I decide my education? No, some of them not have that kind of rights also because they have to decide by everything. This right says that the if anything in a part of her life or his life, that should be his decision. He or she should involve in that decision. Right to development, right to education, right to learn, right to relax and play. That is nowadays, even urban, rural, everywhere, we are asking the questions about the right to relax and play. Children, we can't be able to see the children's outdoor games. We couldn't see nowadays. Right to all forms of development, emotional, mental, and physical. Health issues. Now we are going to move. These are the rights we have to provide. Everyone should provide. It is responsibilities because they are the future nation. They are the pillars of the nation in future. About 20 or 30 years, they are going to run the world. They are going to run the country. But what environment we provide? We are providing this kind of rights. We will see later. Now we are going to see that in the biggest issues regarding the India children's status. We are going to see that some of the highlights only. Every 20 seconds, a child dies from preventable causes like pneumonia, preterm and birth complications, newborn infections, diarrhea, and malaria. So see, we can, if get some alertness, if we are aware about that, we can easily prevent this kind of issues. But we can't. Why? Next, India has the highest child death in the world. So one among the 135 countries, we are in the 123rd place. The next thing is there are sharp inequalities in mortality rate because we failed to provide some such kind of basic amenities to the children, infants. Under 5 years age, there's a disparity because 14 deaths per 1,000 live births in Kerala. At the same time, when come to the Madhya Pradesh, 92 per 1,000 mortality rate. So why this disparity? Why we failed to give awareness? First, we have to give the priority to awareness. Everyone should aware. So some social issues also there in that part. Next one is lack of education. We can say that now where we are empowered, women are getting more placement, this kind of things. But come to the reality, it is not. A recent report reveals that India is home to the world's largest population of illiterate adults. Illiterate adults, 287 million. More or less contributes 37% of the global population. Total population we have 37. 1/3 of the population illiterate. This trend note in 80s, 90s we have 36%. It will be increased 60% of literate rate. Not that much. We can't ignore that thing. The next thing is, especially for gender disparity here, girl child education requires not only investment but also social awareness because even in our community, some of the children I come across during my research studies is that some of the children, they don't send the female children to, especially for corporation schools. But in the same house, the male boys sent to the some reputed institutions, some recognized institutions, ICSE schools. But girls, they sent to the nearby schools or corporation schools, government schools. I have seen so many people like this. Why this disparity? Even in our minds, not frank, open to this. Okay, gender insertion. Even when compared to the one study revealed that when compared to the technical education, most of the girls not provided that much of technical education when compared to the male part. Because in technical accessibility of the education is deprived for girl children. Why? Today, India ranks 123rd among 135 countries in female literacy. So we are very way to go long. Okay, exploitation in the form of child labor. India has the world's most number of people under modern slavery. That is called modern slavery. 14 millions of people. Slave labor conditions like bonded labor, sex trafficking, child labor, domestic help. So this kind of domestic work, also this kind of thing, it's called some form of modern slavery. Children today continue to be employed in hazardous occupations. Over 12 million children aged 5 to 14 work in construction, manufacturing of beads, bangles, and fireworks industry. So we are celebrating Children's Day. So we have to do certain things. Child issues, violence and abuse. So this is one of the pandemic. In 2013, India was among the top 5 countries with the highest rate of child sexual abuse. Child sex abuse occurs across geographic, economic levels, and even across relationship, strangers, friends, family members, have all been perpetrators. We know that. Even one study recently conducted that more than 50 or 60% experienced child abuse by their friends or family members, even significant relatives. So this study revealed, but we couldn't able to make any visible data for that. 1 in 3 adolescent girl experiences violence, physical, sexual, or emotional. Any form of violence they experience. 1 in 3 adolescent girls from significant others. So these are the data indicate what we have to do for Children's Day, how we can inclusion, how we can give the rights. These are the rights. We have so many rights. How we can provide this kind of rights? What is our role? So first thing is we should, as an individual, we have to be proper. We have to be role model. Be better parenting. How should be better parenting? Okay, we are playing our role is very good manner because we have done lot of things to the children. Today, whatever they want, immediately we are giving. Immediately we are fulfilled their desires. Like immediately we can do that. All the material things. But what about quality? We are giving quality time to them. We listen to them. We have we listened any problems about them? If they are asking anything, you just tell them, please keep the phone and go. So many parents are doing the thing. Even every working parent, we know that. Immediately we are telling that if they are asking something or they are saying something, immediately we want to avoid that such kind of behavior from the children. We immediately give the phone and go. That's the thing now we are doing. But as a role model, we should be a role model. We have to spend the quality time. We should not impose the children about the materialistic way of culture. We imbibe our culture, our family values. No Google, no net, no global apps. Don't teach about the family values, virtues. It should be given by us. We are the only we have to give. There is no substitute for us for that. Phone is not they are comfortable zone nowadays. When we are bringing the electronic gadgets, they said okay. Our mummy is very good. Materialistic. They need our presence, not present. Okay, this kind of things be better parenting. That is very much important nowadays because the child more and more. We are day-to-day activities, day-to-day even every day we are counseling more than 5 or 10 children, 10 adolescent girls or boys every week in our college. They coming, they small things. They are going to attempt suicide. If they are not getting any gadget or a new thing, immediately they are going to threaten their parents by getting some mobiles or something. They are going to hand. They are going to get something. So these kind of things they are doing. How what kind of behavior we teach? Why we not able to give proper time, because we know that we are all are busy. So they are also our. We have to spend some time to them. Otherwise, we fail to produce very good citizens to the country. Even in some of the parents, we observe that they are providing more facilities to the male members. That disparity should be removed. Everyone should be treated as equal. So we should be a role model. We should listen to them. We have to give correct time, appropriate the emotions, response we have to give. As a parent, we have to give emotional binding to them. If we are building this kind of relationship, good relationship with the children, they never keep us. They never go beyond our any issues, any concerns, any needs they have. They immediately come and tell us. They don't touch anything beyond that. We have to be role model. We should, when we are returned to the home, we just avoid certain kind of electronic gadget to away. We have to spend time with children if it is possible. Everybody should practice that. It is very much need of our, because such kind of issues made most of the problems comes through the electronic media. All the violence, all types of behavior, suicidal attempts, this kind of issues, all the children, they are the killers. So we try to make a friendly atmosphere at the home and education institutions. If they have any issues, we have to give space to talk with us. They should not criticize every time they are doing some wrong things. In psychology, they say that when you want to negative words, we should not use in front of the children. Even you can't do that. You never, you're a wasted fellow. You're bad. This kind of words we should not use in front of the children. You encourage. You can do that. Why? You are a well person. You can do what is here positive. We have to motivate that. We have to encourage words. They need that. They have that. They need that urge to appreciation. They need some recognition. So these are the things we have to provide. They never fall any kind of bad issues. The next thing is to spend quality time with the children. Already stated that what is quality time. Every day we have to sit and together. If 5 to 10 minutes is enough. We talk what happened at school or at home or institutions. What about your friends? You can ask what they are doing, how they are, what is their emotional happenings in the day. You just ask small things. We can easily identify if there is any indifferent behavior among them. We can easily identify and we can give some guidelines. When educational institutions nowadays, it is only producing machines. We are getting that much of syllabus. We have to focus on that. We have to create. We have to get more marks in it. We're concentrating on marks, how we can complete the portions, how we can complete the syllabus. These kind of issues we discuss lot of time. But we should give basic values of the children, value education. Nowadays, it is missing in all the educational institutions. It is missing. We talk with them. We ask the children when they are coming to ask, how are you? Have you had your lunch? Even most of the children in college days also, I come across one study recently, more 80% of the children, they have PCOD issues, adolescents. All of us, because they have skipped their morning lunch. They coming easily. Then after that lunch, they are taking from the canteen, like pizza, burger, or some kind of thing. Teach them what is their health, how they importance for the health. So sometimes, if whatever is possible, but nowadays the people's interaction, human relationship is lacking. Even institutions, even home, we just give how they are. If you're meeting any persons in the institutions, we are ready to uh, at least spend some time. After that, we are going to give some education oriented, all the things we can discuss. But before that, we just listen their uh, health. What is their mental health? Whether they are observing what we are taught to them. So spend for so atmosphere, friendly atmosphere we should create. We should not focusing on the materialistic interest. That's the thing. The next thing is ready to seek professional help. If any cost, we should not deprive this one, because we know that they are different, they are behaving in different manner. They are not getting the day-to-day activities. They are not involving these kind of things. If we need, if you have some doubts, we immediately go and check with that. What is the thing happen? Because when I was working in the NGO, I come across some of the people. Early identification is important thing for their betterment. When immediately became a 6 months baby, I told them, Ma, this is not good. You have to check with physiotherapist, go with some psychotherapist, this kind of things. But your children is not well. Immediately they are saying that, no, we met with astrologer. They said that after 2 years or 3 years, it will be okay. They immediately say that most of the people they have that kind of thing. They are going and searching so many people. So after that, they are coming after later period only they are coming to the professional. So if any kind of needs, if immediately we know some symptoms, they are different behavior, they have some issues. If they not speaking with us, if they go with loneliness, they isolated from us, they not this kind of behavior when schools also when they are isolation, they like isolation, we have to talk with them what happens within them. So these kind of issues when we come across, we have to be listen, we have to be at least when we are listening to them, that much that is enough to relieve, get relaxation, because nowadays so many people are hunger, this is skin hunger, love, they need love and affection from their parents in any kind of thing. So because of that, this lacking is leads to some other things, negative side of the thing. So if we need, this is the right, if any kind of deviation from the regular behavior, we are going to approach the professional help. We should not ignore that. Help someone in need. If we come across anywhere, anybody in the place of help, we should help them. At least if somebody, we know that any children in the on the street, you just give the helpline number, you just call them, you just tell them, they know they don't want to disturb you, you just give that this information when the child is there, one child is affected by domestic violence, you just go and rescue, that's enough. So this is very much important. Each and everyone should be take part. Otherwise, we should not protect our future citizens. So with this, I would like to thank all the organizers, ICRT. They creating a very good platform for us to get knowledge and impart our knowledge. Learners, new learners, and the experts to impart. This is very good platform. I appreciate all the ICR team members. I'm happy to be one of the
Okay.
so
Thank you so much, ma'am.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing valuable time from your busy schedule and enlightening all of us. Really, a session is thought-provoking. Of course, the presentation is very good. The need is to spend quality time with the children. Don't let them to feel alone, right? We should try to diagnose the problem of the children immediately we recognize the changes in their behavior. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you once again. Now I would like to invite Dr. Navneet Kaur ma'am for question answer session. Over to you, Navneet ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nimta. I need to close my. Just give me 1 second. Due to technical glitch, I have switched on my both the mobiles, and I wanted to be here. Wonderful, Dr. B. Satyabama. You have taken this concept, which is really alarming. Children are the future. Nurture them right so that they grow up to be able leaders and lead the world towards light. Very true, better parenting is really needed. A teacher needs incredible patience for inclusive education. Inclusive words itself means how we are including, how we are taking everyone with open arms. And for that, we need a lot of patience, we need a lot of courage, we need a lot of knowledge. Then only we can deal with these children. Everybody is unique. Everybody has beautiful skills. Now, as a facilitator, it is my duty to nurture him to the best. Inclusion is based on the belief that students of all abilities have the right to an education that is meaningful, appropriate, and equivalent to that of their peers. So, in education, as it is dynamic, ever evolving approach that requires ongoing reflection and continuous enhancement. And this is only possible if I am updating myself continuously. Thank you. It was a wonderful session by you. Nimta ma'am will take the question answers later. First, I would like you to take the second resource person, and together we'll be taking the question answers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now let me took the opportunity to present the profile of Dr. Hitesh sir. Actually, we have planned same for Satyabama ma'am also, but due to technical glitches, we are unable to do that. Please, ma'am, don't take it otherwise. Yes. Dr. Hitesh Singaria sir is working as associate professor of zoology in SVKM Mithibai College of Arts, Institute of Science, AJ College of Commerce and Economics, West Mumbai. Sir has awarded with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy by the University of Mumbai. Sir has attended many short-term courses, workshops, refresher courses, orientation programs. Sir has also appointed as examiner, paper setter, moderator for practical and theory examinations. Sir has also served as editorial board members and reviewer in various international journals. He has also have life membership of various journals and scientific bodies. The list of Sir achievement is so long that we have short of time and words to present all the achievements of Sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Hitesh sir for a lecture and presentation on benefits of cognitive behavior therapy in health related anxiety. Over to you, Hitesh sir, please.
Namaskar, good evening. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes sir, you are very much audible. Please continue.
Yes, my presentation is visible, ma'am.
Yes, visible, sir.
Yeah, thank you. First and the foremost, I take this opportunity to congratulate the organizers for celebrating the World Children's Day and giving me this platform to share my views on a particular topic which may not be directly related to Children's Day, which as Satyabama ma'am has discussed in her presentation, but my topic would deal with coping up and helping children to cope up and adults and others to a very common disorder which is with respect to health called as the anxiety disorder. So let us start with first understanding the World Children's Day. World Children's Day basically it started being celebrated since 1954 as Universal Children's Day. It was with the idea to promote togetherness, awareness among children worldwide, improving children's welfare. Today we are in 2022. However, the theme for 2022 World Children's Day is inclusion for every child. World Children's Day basically is to help us and help the children and help us also to guide, to offer each of us an inspirational entry point to advocate, promote, and celebrate children's rights, translating into dialogues and actions that will build a better world for children. Because today's children are tomorrow's pillars of our nation, rightly quoted by Anonymous. Well, on that note, let me begin with, so my topic is benefits of cognitive behavior therapy in health-related anxiety. Cognitive behavior therapy. First and foremost, let us understand what is it. and how do we go about it, and how we can relate it to the benefits, acquiring benefits of this therapy. Cognitive behavior therapy, commonly called CBT, has been an effective instrument in resolving issues about depression, substance abuse, or anxiety. There have been various approaches which are utilized in CBT, which are either in person or online ways, through video call, communications, telephonic communications, and so on. CBT works more on cognitions, beliefs, and expectancies, as compared to the behavior treatment, which basically focuses on the community reinforced approaches, and that's where CBT scores a point ahead. CBT usually does not consolidate contingency management approaches, such as the use of vouchers to promote desired behavior. I mean, it's a common thing I would like to quote here. A child is not eating, and very often the parents or the mother tells the child, okay, you get one chocolate if you finish this portion of rice. And that's where we talk about the vouchers to promote desired behaviors. Cognitive behavior therapy restricts to the treatment sessions. On the other hand, the community reinforcement approaches emphasizes the significance of incorporation, intervention into real-world settings, and taking an advantage of community resources. However, the sessions involve skill-related assignments and coping mechanisms. So it is, as we say, that we go to physiotherapy or we do yoga under the guidance of a teacher. Likewise, here also these sessions, basically the moderators here or the teachers or the so-called as therapists here, they actually are skilled technicians, and they help in designing the assignments for these children or coping up with the mechanism, and maybe help them gain confidence and overcome these anxiety-related issues. However, this concept was being introduced by Berry in 1997 in one of his research work. Self-observation and appraisal of one's own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are the key points of the cognitive behavior therapy and can positively help and impact the individual's emotions, behavior. CBT requires certain changes to be brought about, basically the lifestyle changes, and planning is very important, the daily commitments we say, to monitor negative thinking patterns, as well as to have a record of thoughts, emotions, and behavior. As child, we must have written our diaries where we used to pen down our thoughts, pen down our emotions, pen down our day-to-day likes, dislikes. This is also something helping the individuals overcome the anxiety. Cognitive behavioral model. There are now, when we talk about these models, there are different models which are proposed by the psychologist, by the practitioners, by the therapist. And one of the model is the cognitive behavior model, which I'm going to focus here upon. Basically for health anxiety, and it shows the underlying reason behind the mental health, such as the health anxiety, which is commonly called as child anxiety, scientifically synonymed as hypochondriasis. One of the influential CB models is named after Warwick and Salkowski's model based on the illness anxiety. And especially this is with respect to more so observed in the adolescent phase and then getting into the puberty phase. This is a time when because of various hormonal changes which are occurring related to the growth pattern, it leads to a lot of ailments, and one of the ailments among them is the illness anxiety. What is illness anxiety? There's nothing wrong with the child, but a mild headache and child feels, oh, I must, do I have a hemorrhage or do I have a tumor? You know, something like that. So one of the influential CB model, as I said, is Warwick and Salkowski's. there is something, there is an individual who looks after treatment and takes the case studies of these individuals. Basically, the nurse practitioners who can devise CBT by cooperating with their parents of the children and providing education about the primary principles of the therapy. Nurse practitioners can also offer resource material, whatever they gather, whatever they have concised, whatever they have prepared for self-guided practice, recommend daily CBT and assess the effectiveness of the therapy periodically using various clinical tools. These nurse practitioners can enable individuals to improvise their mental wellness, recover by directing a thorough history, going through the thorough historical pattern of various ups and downs, swings of moods, and various anxiety-related issues, including the onset of stress and anxiety symptoms, which the child starts exhibiting, precipitating events, various factors which are responsible and which are associated with such disorders, and the degree to which the anxiety affects the daily living of the individual, lowering the IQs, lowering the confidence of the child. Now there is a nice chart that I have put on the screen. Basically, I'm also, I mean, to a layman, it will be a confusing pattern to see because it's a circle and you don't understand from where to start. When I saw this image for the first time, I was a bit taken aback, but then I made a sense out of it. Basically, whenever there is any issues with our health, we start sensing that issue. So the body sensation actually triggers the perceived as unpleasant and unrequired, not required feelings. Certainly, there is a lot of uncertainty, worry about the consequences of what is happening and what is going wrong within the body. Then it starts triggering shooting up of certain hormones, our flight hormones, our mood swing hormones, our sadness hormones, right? So these are physiological arousals which starts increasing in our system, and that triggers into and pushes the child more so into such anxiety or health issues. Then out of curiosity, the individual starts searching, Googling. Now, Google Baba is everywhere. Just at the click of the cell phones, we get the information across the globe. Scientific, non-scientific, culinary, whatever you want, movies, medias, anything and everything. So the individual starts looking out for the resources where they keep on reading. And then after checking, they start comparing what symptoms they have and what this symptom could be, is related to what all disorders or what all consequences. So, and then based on which they start avoiding certain food, certain types of behavior. And finally, it's a vicious cycle which continues to go, and more child gets dragged and pushed into this anxiety disorder. But this is the way it starts with in the beginning. Now let us focus on to our prime topic, that is hypochondriasis. Health anxiety also it is referred to as. It is psychiatric condition, basically defined as an obsession with the notion that one is physically ill. The major features of hypochondria is related to obsession with the false assumption. Remember two things. One is obsession and there is false assumption. These are the two things. So one already has or is at the risk of acquiring a significant medical ailment based on misunderstanding of the benign. This is a very important word that I want to stress on, misunderstanding, because I told you, we have Google and we have everything available through various medias. So just click and we find out. And then many a times, unfortunately, we come across a lot of wrong informations also, and that leads to physiological symptoms. Typically, such patients attribute unwanted bodily sensations to possible disease. For example, if a child gets a headache, the common thing that the child would get an idea is, have I got a tumor? So this is one thing which particular a wrong understanding of the individual's suffering. and highly concerned with their authenticity, because this is one of the very important mechanisms. The constant desire to get comfort regarding the feared symptoms, so-called sickness, are basically the apparent indicators of hypochondriasis. When experiencing body sensations that have been properly assessed and determined to be benign. Benign, when I say, I simply mean which has not been structured with respect to its behavior. People with this syndrome may regularly try to see the doctors. As an adult, it happens. So they approach doctors, request more testing. If doctor says nothing, everything is fine, still they say, no, I feel I better get the test done. This is a common statement. They will Google out and browse on various sources through internet. They will scan through, if somebody is a good reader, scan through various medical books, and then try to endorse and confirm about their thoughts with their relatives, friends, family members, peers. This disease-related obsession can be disruptive to their social, vocational, and familial functioning and day-to-day life, with their repercussions which are significantly adding to the cost, the finances. So what is hypochondria? Have had major stress, or rather what causes hypochondria, to be precise here? Have had major stress, illness, or a death in the family. These three factors rule and ruin the brain and mind of the child. Were neglected or abused as a child. This is also a very important factor, child abuse, which is one of the very common factors. Have serious physical illness. Yes, that lowers the confidence, lowers the IQ is normal, but confidence is lower because such physically deprived of poor health children, they are often looked upon by others and teased by them. They are kept aloof. Ugly duckling story we have learned in our childhood. Have mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, compulsive disorders, and psychotic illness. Have a personality that tends to make everything seem worse than it is. Yes, जिसे हम हिंदी में कहते हैं बड़ा चढ़ाकर बोलना. Beyond what is the truth, statements beyond the truth. So hypochondriasis, according to the Warwick and Salkowski's model, basically a critical mechanism for the development and maintenance of illness anxiety through 4 different vertices. One is cognitive, affective, physiological, and behavioral. Let us see each of them and understand how they impact. So cognitive, selective attention to illness-related information, discounting of positive information, self-focused attention, thinking errors involving a confirmatory bias of illness, preoccupation, ruminative and catastrophizing approaches towards symptoms and illness. These all are summed up to what is called as cognitive behavior. In affective, basically emotions, especially the negative emotions, anxiety related, increased physiological arousal, anger, depression, and this is also related to our physiology. It will trigger the secretion of hormones, the flight and fight hormone, adrenaline, epinephrine, noradrenaline, norepinephrine, which actually regulates our anger and depression. So that is physiological. And last is behavioral, deals to cope up with worries about our health, repetitive bodily checking, frequent healthcare and reassurance seeking, safety strategies, means to avoiding of medical consultation. So these are the 4 vertices of the Warwick-Salkowski model: cognitive, affective, physiological, and behavioral. one of the model of health anxiety. Now, this is again an alternative which is on a similar line. So this is again an offshoot of the previous model. That is, previous experience, dysfunctional schemes formed, critical incident, activate schemas. Finally, it triggers into negative automatic thoughts, ruled by cognitive anxiety, behavior, and physiological changes. So this is again, this particular aspect is something similar to what we have seen in the previous model. So now when we talk about the cognitive behavioral therapy, again, this is a model which is working on a similar line of behavioral, physiological, cognitive, and affective. This is a simple chart which actually will give us a clear-cut idea, pinpoint on exactly what we are talking about using the model as suggested by the Salkowski et al. Now, what are the benefits of this model? So cognitive behavioral model is preferable as first-line treatment for the children suffering from mental illness. They are not mad. They don't need to have a psychiatric treatment. They need to have a psychological treatment. And that is where the first line of treatment will begin. This therapy also has been demonstrated to enhance sleep by regular yoga and meditations, ease exhaustion symptoms by providing proper nourishment, promote confidence, increase their confidence, and as a result, overall quality of life for well-being. CBT has the advantage of being very adaptive and adjustable. One need not always go to the practitioner. Practitioner can visit also. One need not always have to meet personally, but can have a video conferencing, video calling also, which most of us did when we were during pandemic phase. All the doctors had become technically smart, the individuals, and so are the humans, and so the populace. So CBD utilizes to treat mood and emotional disorders, especially with respect to depression and dysthymia. According to Sanatinia et al., CBT is likely also effective for bipolar disorders, personality disorders, like multiple personality disorders, as schizophrenia, including antisocial personality disorders, psychotic disorders, and so on. It leads to the behavioral changes, including symptoms like delusion and or hallucination, frequent episodes of psychosis, and chronic disease ailments. Thus, in the study conducted by Olatunji et al., that basically employed the meta-analysis of to examine the efficacy of cognitive behavior therapy for hypochondriasis or health anxiety, especially with respect to various age groups starting from child, that is children, potential moderators that have associated with the outcome. Method of the study revealed 15 comparisons among 13 randomized controlled trials with a total sample of 1,081 participants that met the inclusion criteria. However, the investigations revealed that higher pre-treatment severity of hypochondriasis or health anxiety or ill anxiety was linked with greater effect sizes at follow-up visits. Depression symptoms severity was significantly associated with lower in effect sizes at post-treatment. That means pre-treatment, the symptoms were severe, moderately severe, but post-treatment, the symptoms were gradually decreasing and effectiveness of the treatment was visible. Although effect size did not vary as a function of blind assessment, small effect sizes were observed for CBT versus treatment of as usual control conditions, that the CBT versus the waitlist control, which was considered. So there was group which was having without any symptoms, and that was a control group. and improved treatment group, so that waitlist group control group. The dose response relationship was largely observed here, especially with respect to CBT. It indicates treatment of hypochondria, health anxiety, and identifies potential moderators that are associated with the outcome of the symptoms and the cure to the disease. What is the benefit of CBT? In the study conducted by Shahang et al. On video-based cognitive behavioral interventions, which can be effectively observed in releasing anxiety associated with, especially during the phase of pandemic when the world was suffering from the so-called coronavirus, COVID-19 period. But problems such as social distancing, quarantine, a shortage of experts, and delayed care provisions were some of the difficulties which were to be assessed. Face-to-face therapeutic interventions were practically in person not possible, but yes, through the video conferencing, such cognitive behaviors were addressed. The purpose of the study was to investigate the efficacy of the video-based cognitive behavioral interventions for reducing COVID-19 anxiety. However, methodology was randomized controlled trial, 150 college students with severe COVID anxiety, because this was a phase where children, adults, everybody were confined to their homes. Social life was at stake. Health issues were tremendous. Resource availability was challenged. All these things put not just children, but all of us under tremendous trauma and stress, leading to anxiety issues. And hence this 150 college students study with severe COVID-19 anxiety, which were randomly assigned to either an intervention where the sample size was 75, or a waiting list control, again where the sample size was 75. So there were two groups which were observed here. And in this particular program, intervention participated in video-based cognitive behavioral program consisting 9, 15, 20 minutes sessions. There were 9 total, in all 9 sessions were conducted, and each varied from 15 to 20 minutes per group. And these were 3 days a week for 3 weeks. And the study was put forth to be beneficial. Dependent measures over here included COVID-19 anxiety questionnaires, short health anxiety inventories, anxiety sensitivity index 3, somatosensory amplification scale. Now, these are all different measuring scales: experience of parasocial interaction scale and source credibility scale. Cognitive behavior program recipients reported high levels of parasocial engagements, source credibility, and intervention satisfaction. All in all, 80% of the participants said the video-based session was a good substitute for standard in-person therapy. When compared to the waitlisted control group, the video-based cognitive behavioral intervention group showed a substantial decrease in COVID-19 related anxiety, health sensitivity, and somatosensory amplification. However, CBT face-to-face communication or video-based therapy, both are equally effective for individual to be treated in terms of longevity of the sessions and financial ease. This is one of the major benefit. Further, we come to the treatment. So psychotherapy, group therapy that we were talking about, behavior modification and cognitive therapy that we discussed, treatment of anxiety and depression basically can help. More love and affection desired, supplemented with, if required, drugs like sertraline. A word of caution, not to be consumed without an prescription or prescribed by the medical practitioners. So sertraline, fluoxetine, fluvoxamine, and paroxetine. these treatment can be mixed, because one of the treatment we discussed here and stressed upon is cognitive behavior, right? Cognitive treatment. However, there are alternative therapies, or there are combination of therapies which can be used. These are some of the references for our study work. Finally, I would end my presentation by quoting, as it being the World Children's Day, any person can make you realize how wonderful the world is, but only few will make you realize how wonderful you are in the world. Care for those few. Stay safe and blessed.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
For sharing your wonderful knowledge. Really, the session is very thought-provoking. Of course, PPT is also well prepared. The need of the hour is to diagnose the causes of anxiety and give the timely treatment, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and enlightening all of us. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Navneet Kaur, ma'am, for question answer session. Over to you, Navneet, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. First of all, Dr. Hitesh, accept my deep felt gratitude to you for touching this topic.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
We are celebrating Children's Day, and being a principal of a school, I see my every child at times have mental problem. We tag it in a different way, disorder or special children, but what you have taken truly is we need to work on their psychological treatment, group treatment, wonderful remedies you have given. So what ICRT feel is exactly what you have taken up, that is a better future for every child. To promote international togetherness, awareness among children, right, and raise children's consciousness and improving children's welfare. So we need to take a pledge to ensure that every child in any country enjoys equal rights, safety, and quality education.
True, ma'am.
May their childhood innocence remain with them forever and inspire the finest in each and every one of them. So we have to give a space, a platform where the joyful learning is enhanced, which is very, very important. And the treatments, the remedy you have given, it is really great benefit. If we are going to opt that, we need to find the solutions. With this note, I really thank you once again. Childhood is an enchanting vista, an endless fun, a joyful classroom, an experience, an era of imagination. And this can be only possible if we are update, being a counselor also. Every teacher, every educator, everyone who is imparting knowledge to the little kids, they must be good counselors. They know what is cognitive, what is affective. You know, you need to understand all these concepts. Then only you can connect with their heart. And once you have connected with their heart, then you can give any remedy to them. Thank you so much, Dr. Hitesh. It was really a wonderful session. Rather, both the resource persons. Dr. B. Satya Bhama, your session was also very good. I have missed few of the topics. I'm sorry for that due to some network glitch. And now we'll move to the question round immediately. I'll take first question from Rajni Vich. Please unmute yourself and ask your question immediately. And please do tell which resource person you are asking your question. Thank you. Ms. Rajni Vich, your hand is raised. You can ask the question. If you're not taking up, then I'll be going to the next person. Okay, I'll go to Garba Haruna. Garba Haruna Abdullahi. Yeah, please, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Mr. Garba Haruna, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, please ask your question.
Hello, ma'am. We really enjoy the program very much here. And we are looking for more of this program from your side, ma'am. My own questions is to the last speaker. Please, how can, as a school counselor, will fully understand the cognitive behavior of his students? How? What are the strategies if a school counselor will use to understand a student? Thank you.
Hitesh, this question is for you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm glad this question is asked. So basically what we do is, see, children are at a very delicate phase of their life. They are just growing up. They have a lot of things that they observe and they pick up. So we have to first see what is what change in their behavior is visible. Because this, for example, if you're a teacher, then you have been having a group of children under you since you're teaching them some classes, right? And then you have to have one-to-one interaction. So as ma'am rightly said in the beginning, that we have to understand the children's psychology and then understand what therapies we are talking about, especially cognitive, right? So first and the foremost, we need to see the change or transition in the behavior of a child. And that transition is taking the child towards a positive path or towards a negative path. And once we discover this, and then we can counsel the child, talk to the child, discuss with their parents, and finally try to understand what the reason behind that change in behavior. And if that behavior change is very drastic, that is the time when we'll have to address it with some therapy. And that's where such cognitive therapies will come into picture.
Wonderful, wonderful explanation, sir. I'll take second question. I'll invite Dr. Fasania. Dr. Fasania, Ayodele, Gabriel, and yeah, you're there.
Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon from Nigeria here.
Good afternoon, sir. Please ask your question.
Thank you very much. I'm not asking any question per se. I just want to make a request. We have been enjoying this program from time to time.
Yeah, I know.
I want to ask, can you people organize it in a more elaborate than this so that people, participants from other countries can participate in terms of presenting papers? Make it a kind of conference for maybe 2 days or so that it will enable other participants to at least present their own paper, so that others can also learn. And that's
wonderful,
my request.
wonderful, Dr. Fasana. It's a wonderful adding up you have given. I'm going to write that to ICERT, though they are on the board only. Definitely, we are going to have one program where people globally can present their paper. We had before also these conferences online also. We are looking for more conferences coming up in time, and definitely it will be there. Thank you for adding up. This is really wonderful suggestion. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Fasana. I'll go to next participant. That is Oshinovo. Please, if you can unmute. Oshinovo. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah. I'm here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
From Nigeria. Thank you so much. I want to ask the last presenter, as parents, how do we give first aid to our children when we observe that before taking them for therapy, either to the doctor or to the counselor? Thank you.
Dr. Hitesh.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. See, basically, the therapy comes at a terminal stage, ma'am. First and the foremost is the teacher trying to identify, then understand what is the cause or reason behind it. Then there are counselors in the school who would actually sit and counsel the child, counsel the parents as well, counsel the teachers also if required, need arise, and counsel the peers of that particular child. And after that, they will suggest some changes to be incorporated in the lifestyle. Failing which, then finally, once they do not accomplish the target, then they would be recommending them to undergo some therapies. So undergoing therapy is the ultimate stage. However, most of the children, they can be, there could be a U-turn for such children with a lot of guidance, affection, and love.
Very true, very true. We face so many these kind of examples in the school, and when they work with their peers, they have very little, a very tender, you can say, the disorder, but when you're dealing with peers, they are able to cope up with that. We have a lot of life examples of that. Wonderfully articulated, Dr. Hitesh. I'll take the next question, Dr. Philip. If you can unmute yourself, Dr. Philip.
Yeah,
please.
good afternoon.
Good
Can you
afternoon.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can hear
yes,
you.
Okay, my questions goes to the last speaker. Looking at the cognitive behavioral therapy, I think using the CBT, there is need for variation. How does it work with people when you look at it in terms of looking at individual emotional reactiveness? You know, there are some that are more of maybe introverts and extroverts, and then we have some that are more both the two. So how will the CBT help in order to be able to classify in helping them to at least solve this problem and then being able to take them to the next level? Thank you.
Dr. Hitesh.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Dr. Philip. A wonderful question, doctor. This is, in fact, the primary failure comes where we are not able to actually identify the right issue, especially when the child is very introvert. When the child is extrovert, child would be, we normally call them as over smart, or we normally look upon them as a brave child, right? But when the child is introvert, that is actually a challenge for the teacher to bring out the best from that child. And the therapy with cognitive aspect, it is such that there are certain practices which such children are given in form of maybe a play and ponder type of thing, or maybe a small game, or maybe a storytelling. And these would actually help such introvert children to come out of their shell, of their pond, and gain confidence. We have to have faith in such children and give them enough platform to exhibit their inherent skills. Maybe first starting with only among the peers of the children, then taking few other students of the class, then the whole class, and then finally the assembly. So that is how we will the success could be achieved, especially with respect to introvert. While the extrovert students are, in fact, we have to actually tackle them with the care so that we can not, subdue their talents and their smartness, but at the same time make them aware how to use their smartness in a right manner.
Great answer. Dr. Philip, you have asked a wonderful question, which is going to help many of us. Dr. Hitesh, I feel what you have explained, that first thing is we need to create an environment of acceptance here. We need to formulate some practices and adopt inclusive teaching, and then we need to support student learning process. Is this the process we can take upon?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll go to next question. This is Ganyu Olagun. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
I just want to congratulate the presenters. They have actually done very well, and I hope that we can sustain this type of interaction much more closely and much more regularly. So I want to say a big congratulations to the presenters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll take next question. Shivani Raina. Please unmute yourself. Shivani Raina. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, I'm audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay. Good evening to all. I'm Shivani Rana from India. I have some question to sir and ma'am. First of all, I want to congratulate for the presentation that I have seen today. It is wonderful. And my question is that when as a mother, I experienced that my child, sometime when he is not getting good marks in the class, and he is average student, and he is disappointed many times when he is not he is feeling that I want to progress in that. And what is the at that time I am counseling with him. But what is the experience tell me that I want to do
I'll request
with him
Bama to take
for
this
boosting
question.
him more?
Yeah, I'll request Dr. B. Satya Bama to take this
Yes,
answer.
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
please, ma'am.
Ma'am, most of the parents feels that only worried about their marks, because we created the surrounding you. If you're getting more marks, you will be become like this. You don't post these kind of things on children. We accept first,
Okay.
don't compare with other children. That's the best thing when we have to do. Immediately we have to do. We don't compare with any children. They are unique. Everybody is unique.
Okay.
Everyone is unique. Okay. The next thing you have to tell them what is the positive things or other aspects you have to consider. Okay, this is the. They can shine well in days in some other skills what they have worked.
I'll request the participants to mute your microphone, please. I'll request the participants, if you're not asking a question, please mute your microphone. Thank you. Yeah, please, ma'am, continue.
Yes, ma'am. In practical, when we are
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm listening.
yes, ma'am. When we are seeing the in practical life, when they are getting more marks, they are going and settle any one of the office side. But when the middle class students or average students only shine well in the field. So as a parent, we should understand mark is not important to inculcate your life. They will decide in some other aspects also. We have to concentrate on other aspects also. What is their capabilities? They will come out. Okay, we have to try to encourage the other aspects of their life also. That's better. I hope that this is will get your answer.
What is the interest of the child? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll go to next participant, Sameer Shuklaji. You can ask your question. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Sameer Shukla.
Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Please ask your question.
Actually, ma'am, as one of participant has already asked that we should be understanding the things and try to involve all the students. But is there any strategy to, as you have mentioned, that we have to create an environment of acceptance? So what template one teacher should follow to attain such environment, and what should one do? This is the straightforward question, that what should I do to make an inclusive environment in my class, and there is no fear, no hesitation among my kids, and they come to me and just speak out their problems, ma'am. This is the question, ma'am.
You're asking this question to me?
No, ma'am. Actually, I want the remedy for that. This is a pressing problem in most of the classes. I want remedy for that.
I'll just give one example to short out that. Let's say there is a period in which every child has given chance to go and watch football match. So every child is going there to watch the football match. Now where their children, they're going and standing there, there is a wall. Now there is a child whose height is less, the child is not able to see. The one who is of normal height, he's watching that nicely. There is another child who is on the wheelchair. Again, he can't see. Now we are talking about equity and equality, how inclusive things can work. Now, actual inclusive environment will be, I have given one period to everyone to watch the football match. Now I have to create the environment. I have to create the opportunity for all the children. Now, again, those children, the one who has got good height, he's watching nicely. The second one who has got a small height or shorter height, I can put some stool over there. The child can stand and watch the match. The third one who is on the wheelchair, the one who is not able to sit without any help. So I can put a ramp kind of thing and the wheelchair can be put on that and then he can watch the match. Now situation is same for everyone. Now I need to create the environment where my children is going to watch it and enjoy it comfortably. So that is what I said, we need to create the environment. Dr. Hitesh, you want to add up something here?
Yes, ma'am. Just one thing I would like to add up. I mean, you have really given a very good narration. Sir, with respect to your specific question, ma'am has given you the solution. One, I would just add up a thing. Many a times, as you said, sir, that you want every child to be comfortable with you. Unless and until you give them that atmosphere, sir, nobody will get comfortable. No child will get comfortable. So it is necessary that to give them an inclusive environment, sometimes we need to go beyond our teaching. You can share your simple personal talks with them, which are related to your childhood memories. You can ask each of them to come and maybe after a vacation, if they're coming back, to come and narrate what they have done. Maybe you can provide them a small piece of chocolate, which will also boost their morale and make them feel comfortable, and they may like to get into your class. So it is in some way or the other, we can create an interest in the mind of that child. When you narrate your lessons, you don't narrate the lessons, you narrate a story. Automatically the child brain grasps it faster. And that makes the child more interested in your subject and your class. That's from my
Beautiful answer, sir. We need to connect with the childhood. That is more important.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir, for such question. I'll go to next. Ikra Mehraz. If you can hear me, please unmute yourself. Ikra Mehraz. Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. I hope I'm.
Yeah, ma'am. You're from which part?
I'm from India, Kashmir.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah, thank you. Ma'am, my question is to Ritesh sir that if there is a child in my class who needs counseling, for that you need the parents this acceptance that they are approving the child to go for counseling session at school, but parents are at denial that they don't need their child to be counseled. They think that the child is like okay, but the teacher is having observed that child is not up to the mark that other students are, so she or he needs counseling, but parents are at denial that no, our child is okay. So how can we motivate those parents to accept that their child counseling?
Question.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. With respect to your question, the first line over here is the counseling required for parents. Because your challenge is to convince the parents that yes, child is having some issues and one needs to address that. Most of the time, the issue is with respect to बच्चा पढ़ता नहीं है, समझता सब है, लिखता नहीं है. These are some of the common issues that keep on arising. In fact, in this case, you have to repeatedly meet the parents. Maybe first mother, then father, and then call both the parents together, take your principal into confidence, the counselor, and then you all can sit and discuss with parents and make the parents aware about what the child, and give enough evidences to support your argument.
All right.
So that is how the parents would, and parents are also equally worried, rather much more worried than we teachers for their children. So
Dr. Hitesh, I'll give you my personal example. This thing here, she's true. Parents don't accept. Parents are very rigid. I'm telling you, we give lot of alternatives, but they say, no, my child is normal. You please treat him normally. This is a truth.
Exactly.
That's a sad plight, ma'am. But yes, in this case, we only have to depend on modifying the mentality of parents, and probably that would be possible, not in 100% assurance, but yes, it will work, provided we actually make the parents really aware about what is the issue happening.
Dr. Hitesh, I agree. Parents have agreed, okay, my child has some disorder, something is there which he needs to taken up. What is next step? Because schools are not incapable of managing these kind of psychological tests. People like you, the exact counselors, clinical psychologists, we are not able to find them everywhere. In every school, we don't have these kind of counselors. So how to cope up with that then? We have diagnosed the child has a problem. Now what next? What should be the next step for a teacher or a principal or a parent to take up?
Ma'am, in this regards, no, like if in your whichever part of the world you are, there are colleges and there is a BA program which is psychology, and most of the psychology teachers are good counselors. In my own college, we have so many teachers who are counselors. And whenever the problem arises, of course, we have an independent counselor also, but to a small problems immediately, like, ma'am, I'll give an example of examination. The child is suddenly, otherwise the child is normal till the time he or she enters the class, is given the answer book. Once the child receives a question paper, the anxiety starts. And then the child says, I want to go home.
Yes.
This is a very common, I think even in schools, you must
My
be.
stomach is paining. Immediately the effects will start. Very true.
Yes. So what we do in such time, we have some psychology teachers, we immediately call them. And then first and the foremost, take the child out of the classroom, make the child sit in a comfortable environment, and too many people not required, just one or two teachers. If there is a girl child or a male or female child, accordingly the respective teacher, and maybe one of the class teachers, and then just give the child a comfortable environment, ask that child to rest for 5 minutes, give that child a confidence that yes, you have to write. And then if required, yes, some sugar-based drink, maybe tea, coffee, or maybe lemon water. Okay. And eventually, in almost around 80 to 85 to 90% of the cases, ma'am, at least I have witnessed, their confidence is regained and they are taken away from anxiety. These are simple anxiety, actually.
True. So we have to show the effective behavior over here, which is very, very important.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'll go to the next participant. Nuruddin Yusuf. Thank you, Ikra, for asking such question. Great. Nuruddin Yusuf, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please. Nuruddin Yusuf. I'll go to next person then. Olurunda Sola. Mr. Olurunda Sola, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. Are you saying Olushola?
Oh, great.
Yes, all right, thank you. Yes, I'm Olushola from Nigeria, and I'm glad I could come back on. I have two questions, please. One for the first presenter and one for the second presenter. For the first presenter, my question has to do with parents spending more time with their children, giving them adequate quality time. Nowadays, when we have more working parents and parents who are going back to school, it becomes a very difficult tension, spending enough time with the children and also facing their work or their studies. What advice do you have for people? Like, I've seen some take children to higher schools and their children are with them in the class or with them in the office, even though the office etiquettes do not allow it. What advice do you have, ma'am, for those who are struggling with work or studies and they have small children? Then, and maybe there's no childminder nearby, or it's too costly or something. Then for the second doctor, my question is about anxiety that is passed on. Has it been confirmed? My guess is some children have anxiety disorder passed on by the adults around them, from what they hear, what they see, what happens around them. And so they become anxious because of all that the adults are saying, say like the insecurity in the world, the cost of prices, and they hear this every day. And so they become anxious, not because they want to, but because they just suddenly find that around them. Is this confirmed that some children have the anxiety disorder passed on to them? And what's your advice about that? Thank you.
Great. We'll go to the first speaker first. Dr. B.
Yes,
Satya
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this is quality time, nothing but we spend some time with, it should be concern about the children, what they are doing, what is their focusing, what their health, this kind of issues. When they are after coming to the schools or institutions, that period is very, very essential because the children come to the return to the home. They need some support soul to share their views. So that time we should spend, at least if we are not able to meet that time, we just through phone, we can ask them, have you come to the home, what you have, what you had, what are the things, these kind of things we have to ask. Then only we can able to assess their happiness, their sadness, anything happen at school, or children say during after adolescent they can manage with their peers. But before that, during the childhood, before adolescent stage, they don't have that space. They don't have time to relax. They don't know who ventilate their feelings. So that time is very much. The weekends, we can spend weekends. We definitely, whatever we are busy, we have to spend some time with the children, because everything we going for getting for our children. So we have to spend, that is instead of busy schedule, in between we have to spend. There is no substitute. We don't give any excuses for that. So that is very much important. We can give some space, or we can arrange some times for children, those between after 7 to 8 or 6 to 6:30, this kind of times we have to spend for children. This is only for child before bed. Or during the bedtime, we can avoid the gadget, we can give some stories, or we can interact with them. Through the interaction, they can reveal so many things what they have learned from the schools. Through this, we can able to identify some of the solutions for that. Okay, this is enough we can provide. We know that we all are busy, but even though we can't excuse for that. Okay,
wonderful, Dr. B. Satya. So basically, we need to do self-discipline ourselves first. Yes. We are the role models as a parent, and we need to showcase our kids what is needed. Thank you. We'll go to Dr. Hitesh for the second question of Shola. About anxiety, yeah. Dr.
Yes,
Hitesh?
Yes, ma'am. Well, ma'am, basically it is, your question is whether the anxiety can be adopted from the surrounding, right? What I understand from your question, from what you asked. Ma'am, the age is such that the child is very inquisitive, they are very sensitive. So it is always better that we don't discuss certain issues which will try to, map the brain of or mind of the child. So we have to be very, very thorough in this case. We have to be very careful that what we speak, because these children are very smart. Especially children copy us very much because they want to see themselves in our image. Likewise, it happens from the surrounding also. Yeah, there is no direct evidence that yes, the child is picking up the anxiety, or anxiety could be transferred from the environment to the child. It may not, but there is no guarantee that it may happen.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. I'll go to Usman Idris Mohammed. Please unmute yourself. See, your video is on, so I've taken your question first. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon here in Nigeria. So I have to go. I would like to go by that. My question is on prejudice, especially with kids in Nigeria. In most parts of Nigeria, where parents allow kids to hawk on the street, and to me personally, I think this infringes on their rights. What can really be done about this? What can the international community really do about this?
Dr. Hitesh will go with you on this. It's something very sensitive.
Okay.
Ma'am, I would like to have a clarity on the question. I'm actually not clear on what exactly the gentleman is asking.
Usman, just give that example, what you're talking about prejudice. Just explain it more. Like in Nigeria, how kids are facing these kind of problems. What exactly you want to bring the remedy in them? Just clear the question more.
Okay. The question goes like this: in rural communities in Nigeria, in most rural communities in Nigeria, parents allow kids to hawk on the streets, and I think personally this infringes on their rights as a child. So what is the international community really doing about this? And what can
So
really
they
be
are
done to
minor
salvage
children?
this?
They are below 18 of age?
Yes,
Those who are
below
hawking,
18 of age.
they're below age.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I think
yes,
Dr.
yes.
Hitesh, now it will be clear to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sir, in fact, that's a culture, I think, everywhere. Now gone are those days where we used to have children of fourth standard, fifth standard, calling people at home and celebrating their birthdays. Now these children want to go to malls. They want to go out with their peers and friends and celebrate their birthday. So that is what is happening globally. And that particular culture is spreading because of the media. Because the child picks up what he or she observes in the media, through televisions, through movies, through the documentaries. And this culture is happening. So it is not just that this particular thing is visible in Nigeria. This thing is very much inadvertently observed in most of the part of the globe. But it is up to parents that how to regulate. Yes, if you observe, if you feel that there's going to be some danger, then in that case you have to be a little careful, and at times you may be required to even follow your child hidingly to observe whether things are safe with regards to your child. Especially with girl child, yes, this is a matter of concern that one has to be careful. So this is one thing. There is no prejudice as such with respect to this matter, but it's only that one has to be little alert, one has to be little observant. And yes, nowadays the cell phones are available with most of the children, because parents, with regards to their safety, they are concerned. They issue the cell phones to their children. So this also could be one of the means where you can.
Dr. Hitesh, I think he wants to ask that the kids of minor age in this special tribal, they are supposed to send for selling the things on the roads. Am I right, Usman? They have to go and do all this walking
you're right.
over there?
You're right.
Okay,
Yeah, this question is basically.
Yes.
I misunderstood the question. Okay,
Yeah.
Ma'am, with regards to this, yes, this is one of the child abuse, and even Ma'am Satyabhama Ma'am will endorse on this matter, that this is a matter of child abuse, and it has to be stopped.
Yes.
It has to be stopped. If at all you see any, because I remember the other day when I was going, I went to have a chai or tea, and I saw one child serving me. So my immediate question was, what is your age? What is your name? What are you doing? How come you're here? Just trying to get the child a little comfortable, and then pulling out the information that, are you studying something? And then we have a lot of NGOs who are active with regards to such things, prevention of child abuse. So in that, because this is also one form of the child abuse, where we are depriving the child of education, and they have been forced into the trade world. So that shouldn't happen. And if it is happening, then yes, we have to seek help of, the legal help. We can take help of subgroups like NGOs who are looking after the child welfare. And there are many of this. If you Google out, sir, in your localities also, you may find some organizations who are taking care of such child interest. Or then we have, yes, of course, this ICERT like organizations which are also contributing by leaps and bounds. So it is definitely a matter of concern. And if this is happening, it has to be addressed, sir.
Yes. I'll quickly go to two more questions as time is running. Vikas Anand, your hand is raised for a long time. I'm watching. Mr. Vikas Anand, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Vikas Anand from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. And I have a very, you can say, common question. With anyone, actually, I need a suggestion and a guideline from you kind of experienced people. So I have a question, ma'am, that after pandemic, we have observed that during the pandemic, children are very much habituated with their technical gadgets, mobile phone, etc. for their online work, education, and everything. Now, as a teacher, or you can say as a guardian, what I am facing, that children are habituated of it. Now after the things become very normal and the circumstances are in a normal condition, but what we are facing, that the student and the children are very much habituated to use online gadgets and everything, and this is how the reason that they are not cope up to adjust themselves in a general scenario of normal education teaching learning process. Now in these circumstances, being a teacher, what we are facing, that once being a guardian, if you are talking with their children or their wards, or in terms of parents also, we are facing during the PTM, that once they are going to knock on this matter to their children, they used to become aggressive. And most important, their behavior is not considered to be a normal scenario. So in these circumstances, how we can deal with such kind of children so that they can come and overcome from the such kind of situation? Thank you, ma'am.
I'm going to change the question, Dr. Hitesh, how we are going to deal with this kind of behavior. Please guide us.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful question, sir. And that is one of the questions to be addressed, which is a need of hour. And I think almost all of us would be facing such a challenge, because there was a time when we were promoting child to use the gadgets, and now we have to withdraw these gadgets from them.
That is the challenge for us, sir.
Yes, it's a challenge for us. But yes, there are ways and means, because see what happens to sir. Every child, as ma'am Satyabama ma'am had rightly answered to one of the question, every child is unique. We have to find that uniqueness in the child, and that uniqueness could be in form of the liking of a child to draw a cartoon, liking of a child to narrate a story, liking of a child to maybe have some small acting skill, or maybe a singing skill. And you just try to find out what is the maximum that child is using that gadget for. And then and then you can understand from there the particular hobby or particular liking of that child. Then you can give that child the gadget and do not deprive them of the gadget, because gadget is the need of hour. Let them use it, nothing wrong. You decide a time frame that okay, you will get your gadget to be used for particular watching a movie or for reading a story or whatever could be. You set up a time frame that okay, you will get every after you complete your task, maybe you will get 10 minutes, or maybe end of the day you may get it for half an hour or maybe an hour, as per his or her timeline. You have to decide and frame a timeline for that child and let them use it, because if you deprive, they will become very agitated. Yes. It will lead to a lot of annoyance in them, a lot of rigidity will come in them, because you are the ones who had given and promoted, and now you are the one who's withdrawing.
Absolutely.
Right? So
I'll quickly go to
draw a timeline.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'll quickly go to Zainab. Zainab Ibrahim, please ask your question. Zainab, yeah. You can unmute yourself, Zainab Ibrahim, your Khasi. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this your presentation. The issue is that in our own side of the world, we have a children that are experiencing some difficulties of child abuse. So what I understand, what I need is to, if we are able to contact the donors that can assist such kind of a children so that they can have an access to the easy life and their comfortability, because the issue of this child abuse is relating the child to be exposed to many kinds of terrorism. So this is my request. If there is any possibility for these the donors to find out the areas where we are having such kind of problems, so that they can access and assist such kind of children, because the leading factor is the poverty. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Dr. Hitesh, the question is really very, very sensitive. Dr. Hitesh is there. Would you like to add up something here? How we can help? You need to engage the children, ma'am, in a very positive way. Every school needs to have a lot of opportunities. We have to channelize their energies. We need to understand deeply each and every child. Sir and ma'am has beautifully quoted again and again, connect needs to be there. Every teacher, if 30 students are there, I should know my 30 students, what is their good, what is their needs improvement, what are their tender points. As a facilitator, I need to be thorough with my children. This is what I believe. Dr. Hitesh or Dr. Bama, you want to add up something here, because I'll be closing on this note.
Yes, ma'am. What you have quoted is very right. I think whatever you narrated is encircling around the same question. And if that is to be, if there is a connect, I think the issue can be resolved.
Yes, that is very, very important.
Very important.
The same thing. That is connectedness is the only solution for that. It is the only prevention for the mission. Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm really sorry. 23 hands are raised and it is 7:37 according to Indian time. We are already 8 minutes up. If I can take one more question. I don't know whom to choose. People will say, ma'am is not choosing me. Okay. Dr. Nuzahat Fatima. One more question I'll take. Dr. Nuzahat Fatima, please unmute yourself. Tell from which part of globe you are there, and please ask your question. I believe when any participant asks the question, that question is there in our heart as an educator. So that is not the question of that participant, it is the question of each one of us. Yeah, doctor, if you can unmute and ask your question, then I'll go next. I think ma'am is not there.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm from India, Rakshita Sri.
Okay, please, ma'am.
How can we find out a person or child? What is the reason for a mentally disabled, the particular child? Reasons for disabled mentally. They're not stable for mentally.
Dr. Hitesh?
Ma'am, are you trying to say that the child is mentally ill?
He speaks about mood swings, sir. I think that.
Mood swing. Ma'am, that is quite normal. I mean, a child having a mood swing is very normal. I mean, we as an adult, we also have our own mood swings, ma'am. Because it happens that the child is having his or her own thought, and we have to appreciate that. I mean, that is, excuse me. It is such that we have to understand the child psychology, because here the children mind is very tender, and we have to tap that tender mind and allow at times these children to play and ponder with their wish. I mean, we shouldn't be every time having strictness that yes, this is only the time you should study. This is only the time you should watch TV. You know, sometimes you can always break the rule for that child, for your own children, and let them enjoy that also. Because if freedom is given to them, you can pull out the best out of the children.
I want to add up something here, Dr. Hitesh. What I do in my school, I believe it may be a child or it may be a teacher or it may be us, anyone. We all have mood swings. Now it depends on our mental health, how beautifully we can balance that. And for that, in my school, I have started meditation, mindfulness as a mandatory subject for all. First 5 minutes of the day, everyone has to do this act of mindfulness, because still you're not balanced. You're not able to work on your mood swing. Mood swings will come. It is like a heartbeat. Heartbeat has to go up, down, up, down. Moods will also come. At times I'll be happy. At times I'll be sad. At times I'll be excited. It has to be there. But now education teaches us how we can balance that, how we can normalize that. And being an educator, being any profession we are, we need to know how to balance that. This is what I understood in my these 48 years of journey. You add up over there, please, and Bama ma'am, so that we can close on this beautiful Children's Day. I believe we all are children. We have inner child in us, and we become children when, and it is very important to be a child. Then only you are loving, you are exploring, you are adding up things in your life. Sir, any last note from your side? Dr. Hitesh, you want to conclude something?
No, ma'am, just one quote which I had studied in my school days. Every child is father of a man.
Oh.
And I think we need to understand that.
Yes. Very true. And the more we learn from children, I think the best is the knowledge we gain that.
Yes,
Dr. Bama, you want to add up something to conclude?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'll move to the moderator for the vote of thanks. It was an amazing session. I will come last to say you bye-bye. First, our beautiful moderator will take up. Yes, ma'am. Please take up the things and give vote of thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Navneet ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Vita, you are.
Okay. Thank you, Navneet ma'am, for wonderfully handling and took up the question answer session. And thanks to participants for asking excellent questions. And of course, both the resource person, Dr. Satyabama ma'am and Dr. Hitesh sir, for answering the queries of the participant in a very excellent way. Really, we have many takeaways even from the question answer sessions. And I feel really myself blessed to be the part of this whole seminar. Okay. At last, let me took the opportunity to say vote of thanks to all the participants. I want to thank the chairman of ICERT and of course the whole team of International Council of Education, Research and Training for organizing a wonderful international seminar on a wonderful current time demanding theme, inclusion for every child, right? I am thankful to both the resource person, Dr. V. Satyabama ma'am and Dr. Hitesh sir, for sharing wonderful knowledge on the seminar theme. Really, we have many takeaways from the seminar. Dr. Navneet ma'am, thanks is also due to you for a wonderful cooperation and wonderfully handling the question answer session. Thanks is also due to all the participants from India and outside India, each and everyone who took up their valuable time to attend this seminar. Without the participant enthusiasm and heartfelt participation, we will never hope for conducting such kind of seminar and able to conduct. Really, we never hope for. Thank you each and everyone. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Nimta. Thank you so much. God bless you all. You was a wonderful moderator and beautifully you have handled the technical glitch also. My gratitude to team ICERT. I have worked with so many educationalists, but truly the team we have, the chairman, sir, Dr. Sandeep Singamarchi, Secretary, Sir Dr. Sandeep Sehagji, Public Relation Officers, Dr. Reddy ji. We have Saima ma'am with us, Simran ma'am with us, so many names, people who are working behind the curtain and doing great and bringing lot of treasures to each one of us. We all are learners over here, and with this platform, every time we learn so much from each other. Wonderful resource persons we have, Dr. Bama and Dr. Hitesh. Thank you so much for sharing great wisdom with all the participants and giving them wonderful answer sessions, solutions. Thank you so much. I want to end with this beautiful saying that every child is a different kind of flower, and all together make this world a beautiful garden. Same as I can see on the screen, from every part of world, beautiful facilitators are here for learning, for their own nurturing, because what I have, I'm going to give that to the people around me. So for that, every day I need to learn, I need to update, I need to grow, I need to smile. So this is amazing platform where we all are together. It's true, children are the world's most valuable resources and the best hopes for the future. And now it's our duty to give them best nurturing so that we get back the best. Universe needs best thing. And the one platform which is giving that kind of thing is ICERT, and we all are one family. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. And Dr. Fasaina, I've taken your coach that there need to be a conference where we should present our papers also. We are definitely going to that in future. Thank you every person who has asked a wonderful question. Thank you all, and all the listeners, still you people are there. See, such a patience. And on this beautiful Children's Day, once again, wishing each one of you a happy Children's Day. Be a beautiful child always, and love all the children you're having in your court, because you are the father of that, and vice versa, as told by Dr. Hitesh. Thank you. On this note, we end. Have a beautiful evening, night, morning, whatever you have, which country you are from. See you for the next time. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
ICRT, you can put mute off for some time. If anybody want to say bye, I really want to wish them bye. It's Children's Day. So really we want to feel each other globally.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. Oh, yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Really wonderful.
Bye, ma'am. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, the best. Wish you the best.
Okay, ma'am. It's wonderful session. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you all.
Emilio, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye from
Bye,
Colombo.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
to
you
all.
very much.
Very wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am. Thank
See
you.
you
It
next
was a
time.
wonderful session. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Happy Children's Day to everyone.
Ma'am, there is a feedback form.
Happy Children's Day to everyone.
Wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful session.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you
wonderful
so
session.
much, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Ma'am, where do we get the feedback form?
Bye-bye.
Happy Children's Day.